Hey guys, so what we're going to be doing today, we're going to be making Welsh Rarebit. A lot of people, that might just be cheese on toast. It's a little bit more like complex in depth. It's not like a hard thing to make. It's got more than just cheese to it. It's going to feed into something else I had an idea for the other day. I've never actually had Welsh Rarebit and I've never made it. So we're going to do it a couple different ways today. We're going to make 2 different types of sauces, and then we're going to make about 2 variations on each of those sauces. And then whenever I find what I really like, I have a great idea. It's going to feed into another episode, and we're going to call it the Welsh Patty Melt. So stay tuned for that one. That'll be coming up in the next few weeks. But for today, let's go over the basic process of making a Welsh Rarebit. Essentially, you're going to be making a roux, and then you're going to melt your cheese into it, kind of like you would for like mac and cheese, like a bechamel. And then we're going to let it set until it gets to this kind of like Boursin spread cheese consistency. And we'll be able to put that on slices of bread and throw it into the broiler. So let's go ahead and get started. I've got about, this is a ½ pound of shredded cheddar. It's half aged cheddar and half extra sharp. For one sauce, I'm going to be using an English brown ale. For the other one, I'll be using a cider. Outside of that, they're identical recipes. So I'll just go through one, and then off camera, I'm going to duplicate both, because we'll have a little bit of break time in between to let the sauce set. We're also, to this sauce, you're going to have a tablespoon of flour, just all purpose. And then this is actually 1 tablespoon Worcestershire sauce, 1 tablespoon dry mustard, and a 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne powder. Cayenne powder. We've got a tablespoon of butter on the stove right now. We're going to melt that, whisk in our flour, whisk in the seasonings, and we're going to add our beer. And then once that's all uniform, we're going to fold in our cheese and let it melt. Then we're going to take it off and let it set. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to flip my stove on here, get that butter melting. So we've got our butter melting over medium heat, and when you make a roux, you really don't want to stop whisking until your flour is incorporated, and we're going to slowly sprinkle it in. So I've got my tablespoon of butter melted up here. We're going to go ahead and we're just going to kind of sprinkle in lightly our flour, and we're not going to stop whisking it. It's over medium heat. We're going to incorporate it all, that way we don't get any lumps in this. So what I'm adding to it now is the Worcestershire, the mustard powder, and the cayenne. And just dump that in there. And what you're doing with the butter and the flour is you're dissolving it in there, you're creating a roux, and you're allowing it to kind of thicken when everything comes together. And this one we'll use the brown ale. And it's going to be about 1/3 cup and a little change. There's the little change. And let's just get it all dissolved, all whisked together. It's okay that it lumped up a little bit. It'll thin out here. Okay, we got all the lumps out of there now. I'm gonna go ahead and introduce the cheese. Drop this down to about medium-low now. I'm just going to use a spatula to fold this in. We'll slowly melt it, and it'll create this nice cheesy sauce. Minus the Worcestershire and the cayenne, this isn't too dissimilar to how you make mac and cheese. And that'll be another episode I'll go over. It's one of my favorites. It's one of my signature dishes I make whenever I go places. It's always fun, and it's super easy. And it's a great lesson in just like classic sauce making that transfers over to just beautiful home cooking. Okay, I think we're now to the proper consistency. There's not really any chunks of cheese left in there. It's all pretty nicely melted. So we're going to transfer this over to a broad dish and let it set. Okay, we're just going to let that set. So we're going to have a little bit of a break. I'm going to duplicate this with the cider. I'm just using an Angry Orchard cider. I'm going to duplicate that. We're going to let this set. Probably have some drinks or something, you know, do whatever you need to do in your downtime. We'll come back to this and it'll be set, and then we'll try out making some Welsh Rarebit. Okay, guys, I'll see you then. Okay, so I mean, we came back from quite a long break. I mean, any astute observer can see that it's dark outside now, but we let these cheese sauces sit up quite nicely. We've got our cider one over here. We've got our crumpet English brown ale over here. We're going to try, just on this tray, we're going to try 4 different toasts. So we're going to do one with just straight sauce on each. And then we're going to do one with, I made some, and I don't know if I referenced this before, I made some duxelle. That's duxelle. I had some spare mushrooms kicking around in the fridge, and I had some leeks and onions. So all duxelle is, I've never had beef Wellington, but if you ever had beef Wellington, this is kind of the mushroom filling they use. Oh, I've tasted it, I've smelled it, I made it this morning. Phenomenal. All it is just fairly ground up mushrooms that you squeeze all the moisture out of. You saute your mushrooms with some onions and or shallots and or leeks. In this case, I've done shallots, I've done leeks, I've done ham. There's a little bit of ham in there. I've done some onion. I've done the the cremini mushrooms I had kicking around, the baby portobellos. And it smells intense. So 2 of these we're going to do straight cheese, and 2 of these we're going to do a layer of this and then the cheese. And we're going to throw it into the broiler, and we're going to see what happens, okay? Let's give it I got to give a shout out while I'm buttering these up. I got to give a shout out. I'm loving, if you guys have noticed, I love this the chef jacket I'm rocking today. This is courtesy of, I am now, if you're in the 918, if you're in Tulsa, or even if you're in Oklahoma City and you're into comedy at all, every Wednesday night here in Tulsa, we have the VFW Comedy Open Mic Night. And through through an unfortunate series of events, fortunate for me, I am actually one of the new co-hosts of the VFW Comedy Open Mic. We do it every Wednesday night. We do it at the VFW over on 6th Street. It's the Centennial Lounge upstairs. Coming out, it's perfect if you want to try comedy for the very first time, if you've never done it before, if you just want to watch. We do karaoke afterwards. It's typically, the show starts at 8:30. Last week we had a kind of high number recently. We had about 11 people sign up, so we're done around 9-ish. We do 5 minutes apiece, roughly a little over an hour. So we're done about 9:30. We ran karaoke. I think I left early. So, I mean, they were doing karaoke until at least, oh God, I don't know, 10:30, 11:30. It's a blast. Come on out. You'll have fun. They run drink specials on Wednesday nights, which is our VFW night. You can get $3 gin and tonics. You can get $3 rum and cokes. They're Wells, of course, but dude, who cares? I mean, come on, have some fun. Take an Uber out there if you really want to be responsible. But it's a great environment. Everyone's always super fun. That's always been my home. You know, when I first started doing stand-up here in Tulsa, I'd only ever tried it once before when I was in college at Norman. I tried one night at Othello's, and it went okay, but I never went back. When I moved back here, you know, about late 2017, come up on early 2018, right around my birthday, the end of May, I started trying to want to do this again. You know, it was I didn't have anything going on, and it's like, I need to get something. So I started doing my stand-up again, or I started doing stand-up again. I'd only ever done it once, so I can't say my stand-up, but I started doing that, and I fell in love with it instantly, and it's been a blast. I implore you, if you're ever interested in it, if you enjoy comedy, you've ever thought once in your life that you're like, hey, I could maybe do that, try it. Please try it. The community... I take more out of it than I put into it, in all honesty. And I think a lot of people do, because it almost serves as kind of, I joke with people that it's Alcoholics Anonymous, where you're encouraged to drink, but it does have that group therapy aspect. You know, I mean, getting up on stage and sharing, I mean, real comedy, really good comedy, it comes from the heart, it comes from genuine experience. I mean, it's stuff that you're sharing with people, and it could be embarrassing. It could be that could be the entire funny part of it. It could be really embarrassing to you. But you bring it on stage and you share it with people, and it's like this beautiful moment, because you're getting to have this opportunity to express yourself and reflect. and they're getting an opportunity to laugh at something, and maybe even, you know, I mean, comedy is always a great source of comfort for people because we rationalize and we take things that are similar to our own scenarios. So maybe what you're talking about helps out someone else. So all in all, I mean, all you're doing is, if you can get over that initial part of stage fright and that embarrassment, it's this really serene moment where everyone's feeding off the energy. Even if you don't have a whole lot of energy, it could just be something that, oh my God, Biscuit, you are being so loud right now. Thank you. I mean, you can have water whenever you want. Don't look at me like I'm a jerk. I gave you a brand new toy and treats today. There's just that beautiful, serene moment where everyone's feeding. Again, you don't have to have the energy. It's just, I don't know, there's something magical about open mics. I love them. I really do. I really, really do. There's something special to me. That's part of the reason why but yeah, I guess long story. The other co-host, Zach Amon, hilarious guy. If you get a chance, or if you enjoy podcasts, check it out. Channel 4.5 Productions. He's also on Soundstooth, which I'm getting ready to be on myself. The Everybody Loves Amon show, AMON. Zach Amon, local Tulsa comedian, hilarious dude, co-hosting with me every Wednesday night. We're hitting up the VFW, co-hosting up in this bitch. We are doing it big. We've got great ideas to try and expand it and get more people in, get more people interested in it. Hilarious guy. He actually gave me 2 of these chef jackets, and I am in love with these things. These are great. I'm so happy. Great guy. I thought he was great before he gave me these. After these, it's kind of like, oh my God. I can't find enough ways to be kind of like, I don't know how to express how thankful I am. You know, man? Okay. We got all those slathered up. Let's give them a shot under the broiler, eh? See what happens. Go ahead and get our Vegemite on these ones. I got these pieces buttered up. Thin little layer. If you've ever done Vegemite on toast, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It just looks like a little smear like that. Very salty, but very delicious. If enough people request it, maybe we'll try it with Marmite, but I'm more a Vegemite guy. I've got both. I like Vegemite on my toast and on my cheese sandwiches. We have our 2 that we just made. We have the cider. We have the brown ale. Let's give them a shot and see what's what. Cider smells nice. Not bad, not bad. So I will say the brown ale has a little bit more flavor. Both need lots and lots of salt. And that's observation numero uno. Observation numero dos. We've got the ones with the duxelle underneath. We have the cider, we have the English brown ale. Let's give these a shot. Much more meaty smelling, much more umami. Oh, fuck. That's good shit right there. That'll take you Flavor Town. That's nice. Let's try it with the English brown ale. I think actually I wanted the cider to win because when I was cooking it, it was really nice. It smelled sweet. I thought it balanced the aged, funky notes on the cheddar. I think the brown ale wins. With the mushroom That is really great. We have Vegemite and cider. We have Vegemite and brown ale. Let's give these a shot and see what we're working with here. You can definitely smell the Vegemite on there, the butter. It smells nice. Not as much flavor as I would have expected. I'm a little disappointed in that. Let's try the Vegemite and brown. Really about the same. That mushroom, that duxelle that's solid. That's top notch.
That's on point. That'll take you to Flavor Town.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Tune in for the next week's episode. Probably going to mix in some reviews here and there. Just keep things different, keep things lively and vibrant. Probably mix in some liquor reviews. Maybe call them liquor diaries or something. But hit that like and subscribe button and stay on for the ride, guys. This is Chef Kingston's kitchen. And you're riding with Chef Kingston. Let's see what happens. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next week.